Hi there. You caught me listening to my shell phone. Get it? Yep, I'm just sitting here listening to the roar of the ocean from my seashell, dreaming of the beach because it's getting hot outside and it's summertime, and I can't even tell you the last time I went to the beach. Some of you are lucky, maybe you have gone to the beach, or maybe you live at the beach. So I've been thinking of swimming in the ocean and putting my feet in the sand. I even have my sunscreen here and my fan in case I get too hot at the beach. How many of you like going to the beach? It reminds me of a poem that I've heard about somebody who's also dreaming about being at the beach in the ocean, but they're dreaming about being there with Jesus. So I want to read it to you. I've got it here on my iPad. You can't really see it. I wish you could because it shows little footprints in the sand. So let me read it to you. One night, I dreamt I was walking along the beach with the Lord. Scenes from my life flashed across the sky. In each, I noticed footprints in the sand. Sometimes there were 2 sets of footprints. Other times, there were only 1. During the lowest times of my life, I could see only 1 set of footprints. So I said, Lord, you promised me that you would walk with me always. Why, when I needed you most, would you leave me? The Lord replied, My precious child, I love you and I would never leave you. The times when you have seen only 1 set of footprints, it was then that I carried you. And that is the poem, and it's a beautiful poem, one of my favorites. I used to have it on a bookmark that I put in my Bible. It also reminds me of a Bible verse that I want to share with you. Hopefully you'll be able to see this one. So here it is. It is Matthew chapter 28, verse 20, and it says, Be sure of this, I am with you always, even to the end of the age. Isn't that a great thing to remember? That Jesus is with us always, all the time. So anytime that we're going through a rough time, or maybe there's something going on with our families, or maybe you're getting sick, or maybe there's something that you're scared or nervous about, God is always going to be with you. And we can kind of remember that by thinking about footprints in the sand. So in the poem, the person said, when I needed you most, Lord, there was only 1 set of footprints. You'd think that Jesus would be right by your side, right? But it said, the Lord said, I wasn't gone. I was right there. I was carrying you. So there was only 1 set of footprints. So I have a craft that you can do with me today. It might be a little bit messy, but no need to get out your beach stuff. You don't need sunglasses and sunscreen for this one. What you are going to need is, I actually had to get bigger pieces of paper, but maybe you won't need this one, this big. I have the scrapbook size paper, so this is a 12 by 12 paper, and I actually have 2 of these, and I needed some glue and some construction paper. I just used stick glue, but if you're feeling more adventurous than I am, I'll tell you another way that you can do this as well. So I'm going to open this up and I'm going to show you what I've done. Here it comes. Ta-da! Isn't this cool? These are my footprints in the sand. So what I did was I actually convinced my dad to let me trace his foot. So I have my dad's footprints and my footprints. Now, if you're younger than me, obviously your parents and your footprints are probably not going to be around the same size, but it's hard to tell the difference in this one. So I'm going to zoom in so you can see. And there's actually sand on my footprints. And this is something that you can do too. And then also I'm going to show you how you can put the paper on the side so it kind of looks like the waves crashing in. And I wrote footprints in the sand, and I wrote part of that Bible verse that I shared with you. I am with you always, Matthew 28:20. So what you're going to do is, let me show you one over here. Oops. So I actually didn't use this color, but if you have a tan or a brown color construction paper, you can use that. And all you need to do is put your foot on it and then get a pen or pencil and just trace around it. So if you can, put 2 feet on one page. That'll save you some paper, but if you need to use just one, that's fine. So what I did was I traced both my feet and both of my dad's feet and cut them out. And then I went outside for this part because this was messy. I cut them out, and then I used just a glue stick. Where's my glue stick? Yep. I used a glue stick, and I put it all over the foot. And then I actually had some sand. This is, maybe you brought some back from the beach. This is just from the craft store because I used it for a different project. So I had some sand, but if you have maybe brown sugar or even sugar, you could use that too. Or even certain types of glitter, that even some white glitter would look like sand too. Other ways you can do this is you could trace your foot on sandpaper, if maybe somebody has some sandpaper at your house that you could use. And then if you're feeling a bit brave and want to be more messy than I was, what you could do is step on a stamp pad and step onto the brown paper, so you could have like a stamp of your foot, or paint, brown paint you could use. Or if you want to, you could paint your foot or step in some just white glue. You could maybe put some water in it too to make it a little bit watery, and step in the white glue and then step onto the paper, and then you could put the sand over top of that. So that would be a bit messier. This one I did do outside, and I put the stick glue on the foot cutout, and then I sprinkled it with sand, and then I shook it off as much as I could because I didn't want to bring too much sand into the house. Right now I've got my beach towel to protect my bed from the sand. But I've put 2 of the big 12 by 12 pieces of paper together to fit them all together. And then what I did over here on this side, I wanted to look like the waves crashing in on the beach. So I just took some different color paper. I've got some light blue and some dark blue. And I just took it, and you start, and then you just kind of start to rip it. And you can kind of move it. And it'll start making a different shape. And you're going to have something like this or something like this. You can play around with it. And that gives it the wave look, like it's coming in, crashing on the sand. So that's a really cool craft that you can do, and it'll help you remember the poem that I read to you that's called Footprints in the Sand. Feel free to, I love that one. It's one of my favorites. Feel free to find it on the internet, or maybe get a bookmark or something that you can put in your Bible, and you can have it to remember that no matter what's going on in your life, you may think that Jesus isn't by your side, but it's because he's even more with you. Then he's carrying you, and he's always with you, because if you remember, I am with you always, Matthew 28:20. So I hope you have a great weekend, and I hope you're having a great summer. I wish you a great 4th of July weekend. See you guys next time for more videos with Miss Ashley. Bye.